It's that time again. Alright, let me fire up some chat, and then we're gonna fire up some coffee, then we're gonna fire up some conversation. I think we might even have some company, because Broad Nation Get Together 2025 is starting on Monday. Well, the main event's starting, and people are already coming to town, which is freaking awesome. What am I watching here? I'm watching I don't know, $50 for the first 3 months or something. Alright, we're looking at the ceiling. 28 people? Where the heck is everyone? Jeez Louise. Are we good on connection? Yeah, I think so. Maria Ann kicking off super chat activities with 20 banana ranas on the occasion of your son Jason's birthday. Well, happy birthday, Jason. We've met and many more. Cindy says we're going to see AC/DC at Allegiant tomorrow night. Wow, that's awesome. And I hope I do get to see it. Let's do some hellos. Kevin, Mary, Val Marie, Janice, Cindy, Kyle, Tom, excuse me, that light is freaking awesome. Well, the other things were awesomeness, but that light is freaking awesome. I got it, I'm gonna put it in, I'll show it, in my living room. I have yet another, it's not a real fireplace, it's a real fireplace, but I don't use it like a real fireplace. It's more decorative than anything else. I actually put some LEDs inside it, believe it or not, and I got like a mantle, and then on top of it I got the TV, and like everyone else does. But in that corner I have like alcoves, like recesses in the ceiling of the living room, and I put LEDs up there, so it looks kind of cool. They're battery operated, so I gotta climb up there like once a year and change the batteries. However, there's one corner in that living room that's sort of blank, not doing anything, and that light looks so awesome in there. I turned it like towards the wall, that way it bounces off the wall. It's like a light gray, almost white, and it bounces back. It's freaking cool. So Tom, thank you for that. I do appreciate it. Who else is here? Angie, why are we still looking at the ceiling? Let's look at coffee. A bonk. Alright, Angie, Venus, Sony. I know it's early too, right? I usually don't come out this early, but I got somewhere to be at like 6 sharp, so I gotta get out of here by 5:30. Who's having a facial? I have a oh, you have to leave for a facial. Facials, well, I need a facial. Yeah, guys get facials. Well, this guy gets facials. Chanel Fischel, Leandre, how are you? How are you? Sylvia. I'm trying to catch up with everyone here. Yeah, they look so good in the corner of the house, Tom. It's just on point. We need to stroke the ambiance here. Alright, do I have some type of flame creating implement around? Yes, I do. Alright, there we go. Got some fire up in here. Fire. Now it's official. And yes, this place officially has decided that they don't do artificial sweetener. I don't know whether it's an ethics thing or a moral thing, or I don't know what their thing is, but they do not do artificial sweetener any longer. I mean, Truly is natural for the most part. Venus with the 10 and Jim, thank you very much. It's, for the most part, it's freaking natural. But, the way I figure, people tell me, oh, well, there's chemicals in that shit. It's like, yeah, okay. However, are the chemicals doing worse than actual sugar? I don't know. It's debatable. You know how I feel about sugar. Sugar is just straight up freaking evil. So, all that being said, this is one restaurant probably on the entire planet of Earth that does not have artificial sweetener. And I'm like, don't people ask? And ain't they like, what up? You know, can I get some frickin' Sweet and Low or some Splenda or something? They're like, no, we just sugar in the raw because it's natural. I'm like, yeah, raw this. I'll give you some raw. So let's get some. I mean, okay, this might not be the best. What's in here? Not for individual sale. Sucralose, and it's got some maltodextrose, which technically is a form of sugar. So if you're like 100% no sugar, you can't really do the Splenda activity. But I find Splenda tastes the best in coffee. It took me a long time to get used to. However, there we go. There we go, there we go. Let me like. Bonk. I'm gonna like my own video. How about that? Maybe that'll inspire more people to come on. Alright, we're getting people on. Alright, we up to 64 people. People like, I didn't come here to watch you talk about Splenda. I talk about everything. I'm like the Seinfeld of frickin' live streaming. Who frickin' cares? I just talk about shit. But we're all gonna talk about something. And I am gonna make some heads explode. And I am probably gonna lose some subscribers. But I'm okay with that. I've always been okay with that. Hopefully it's not any close ones or whatever. But I'm okay with that. We're gonna talk about the Pope. Not the Pope of Greenwich Village, but the Pope. Should we talk about the Pope? Yeah, why not? Let's talk about the Pope. Should we talk about people going to foreign countries to bring home people? And we might talk about that too, but I think the Pope will be interesting enough. Take this 60-second quiz to see if I'm eligible. Eligible for what? What are you talking about? See, I already lost 20 people. He's going to talk about the Pope. Oh, God. Christopher C. Tom B. You are very welcome. Do I still walk around at night? Not too much anymore. I've been... Geez. It's been like an all-hands-on-deck business-wise. Like, the month isn't even over. There's still technically 4 days to go, and I just hit 178 hours. Not that that's huge, but it's huge. You know, there's still 4 days to go, and I'm at 178 hours. I'll probably hit in the neighborhood of 210 hours, plus or minus. So the walking around thing, I just, haven't had time for. And the whole, it was pretty hot walking over here. It was like, it's 88 today, but it's supposed to cool down. So if everyone's coming to town for the Bror Nation Get Together 2025, it's supposed to be back in the 70s, although it's been in the 90s, so yeah, pleasant weather ahead, but just, walking, because, even though this is here, parking is like way the F over there. They're freaking $35 parking is way the F over there, so it takes a while. And I'm hot, so I don't do well in the heat, and this summer, I'm going to see if I can commit to doing Friday and or Saturday night live streams once a week instead of like twice a month like I've been doing, because I have a feeling things will calm down a little bit on the business end of things. And we'll see. About the whole walking, if it's still cool, I might do the walking thing. We shall see. But I gotta think about my health too. Snazzy glasses, huh? I left these like 3 times in the car at Vidara, and they didn't steal them. It's a whole new crew over there. I think they got rid of all their thieves. There was some thieving MFers over there. I had so much stuff stolen out of my car over there. I had I think I told this story. I had a parking permit for Trump International, a VIP parking permit for Trump International, meaning I could just pull up there, go to the head of the line, just be like, see ya, It was kind of cool. It still is cool. And they took it, I had 2, because they gave me 2. They tore 1. I guess someone was an anti or whatever, some kind of weirdo. Ooh, let me take it out on a piece of paper. It's a placard. It's a nice placard. So they broke one and they threw the other one, like they launched it over their shoulder, and I found it in the back seat instead of my glove compartment. So that means they went in my glove compartment, bastards. But I haven't had any. Oh, and that same day, I found a huge nail like this in my tire. So I presume they stuck it in. You know, you know how a tire is? It's a tire, and they put the nail like that. So when you backed over it, it had to go in. Yeah, so it cost me a tire there too, then MFers. That's how much, you know, that's the TDS, the derangement syndrome that some people have. So yeah. But it's been a long time since any things like that happened. So either they got fired or they're too busy dyeing their hair purple or something, I don't know. And that's good. Bam. What's up, people? My eyes red? My eyes are red, right? No, I haven't been crying. I just been getting up I got my alarm set. This morning it was 5:21. That's my normal time now. It's always 21. 21 is such a freaking sexy number. Blackjack notwithstanding, 21 to me is just a sexy number. So yeah, it's like 5:21, 6:21, 5:21 to 6:21. I got up at 5:21 today. Actually, I got up at like 4:15, had a cup of coffee, went back to bed for an hour. Go figure. That was the best. Feels like cheating. I do smack down my 9-minute alarm twice. I'll admit that too. Ms. Google, is Miss Google here? Yeah, isn't that hateful? People are hateful. People are dumb. People are dumb. I lit my own. I wanted the ambiance. No one makes coffee like you do, though. I'll tell you what. I could, if you blindfolded me and lined up 2 cups of coffee, I would know yours, without a doubt. You are special. She's awesome. SJL. Jim Wolf is in the house. Has anyone seen or heard from Jim West? That boy's concerning me. I mean, granted, he's on the other side of the pond and everything, but I haven't seen him in the chat in a long time. I hope he's okay. I hope everything's all right. I mean, he was actually talking about, you know, the possibility of coming over sometime soon. But I haven't heard hide nor hair of the boy. So, you love my coffee ritual? Yeah, I ritualize coffee. I mean, when I get deep in it, when I really need help, I grind my own beans, and I got the thing and the other thing, and I got like a whole coffee. I mean, I hate to use the word altar, but it's a lot of stuff. Hello.
I met you a month ago.
Yeah, I remember. Absolutely.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt.
Great to see you. That's all right.
This is Carol.
I was up to stand for the ladies. Same here.
Just to help pay for the coffees.
Thank you so much. That's very kind.
Your evening entertainment.
I do appreciate it.
Yes.
Thank you very, very much.
Thanks for everything you do.
You want to say hello? Yeah, well, too late now. I turned the camera around.
Okay. Yep. Well, Punxsutawney.
Yeah. Punxsutawney. Punxsutawney Phil. Again, I do appreciate it. Thank you very much. Wonderful to meet you. Sure, absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Give me 1 second, people. Appreciate it.
That was very nice. I know. I'm a veritable rock star. That was cool. Those are wonderful people. Remember he came by about a month ago? Very nice. Very nice. What are we talking about? Walkenstein. Oh, Mary's getting up. Yeah, I saw that. You're getting up at 4 a.m. Wow, I do look tired. I I should sleep one day, right? One of these days. I try. I honestly try. I'm in bed, believe it or not. I can't believe I'm admitting this live. I'm in bed most nights by 12, 11:30, 12, sometimes 10. Like last night, I literally climbed in bed at 10 o'clock. And I still wasn't asleep until like 1. You know, just being in bed isn't enough, you know? But, no. But when I go out, when I fall asleep, I'm just like, poof. There's no, you know, counting sheep. When I'm ready to go, I know it. And I'm just like, done. But 4 hours. Yeah, I've been averaging like 4 or 5 hours, maybe. Yeah, I'm wondering how the gym is. Incoming Venmo activities. Venmo is awesome because I get to see like 99% of that. So thank you for the Venmo. Thank you, Mary. I think so. The answer to that question is I think so. I might have people in town tomorrow, but I will let everyone know. This week, believe it or not, I mean, I'm so looking forward to it, but I do have some, even though it's a Broad Nation Get Together 2025, I do have some things I need to do. I mean, opening night, that's a given. I know on Thursday I'm committed for the day. I'll probably catch up with people in the evening, but that day is just kind of shot in the ass, for lack of a better terminology. But Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, yeah, good. But Thursday, unfortunately, duty calls. He said duty. Yeah, I'm thinking, you know, what's going on with Jim? Because he's in the UK. I know the area that he's in. He's in a nice area, the UK and whatnot, you know. But, you know, he's a bro. I get concerned. Alright, let's get some coffee in this. That's good. I want to rip right into my second one, ASAP. So that's exciting. So should we talk about the Pope? In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Ghost. You know there's no such thing. Oh, wow. Should I really go there? Holy cow. Should I go there? Don't do it, Bror. Don't do it. Like I got an angel and another angel sitting on my shoulders. The devil don't sit on my shoulders. Screw him. One's saying, don't do it, bro. The other one's like, you gotta be you, bro. But, should I say it? Okay, maybe not. Don't do it. I even got a commercial interruption. What is she making? She took her blood sugar from 200 down to 140. That's not healthy. I mean, no, it is. No, wait. No, oh, her weight. All right, that's cool. Shout out drinking tea and honey. You lost 500 pounds. Cool. All right, hold on. All right, let me get back to all my. Let me do an intro. Bror Fredrik, coming at you live and raw and friggin' uncensored. That was my old show, but I'm gonna toss that in there anyway. And I'm gonna invite you to like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell button to get notified when I do this again, which is sometimes, oftentimes. I'm gonna try to make it more oftentimes. And do all the stuff. I got the links, I got the Venmo, I got the Cash Apps, I got all this stuff. And I got some links, except I do not have any Amazon links because Amazon can kiss my white ass. They can, and they can kiss my white ass in Macy's window because that is a shady. I'm not talking about AWS level Amazon. I'm talking about consumer end of Amazon with the influencing and all that other shit. They are freaking shady as fuck. And they can kiss my ass. I still order from them, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm not gonna support their efforts. They can kiss my freaking white ass in Macy's window. Yeah. So there's no Amazon links down there. we're going right for that second cup of coffee, because we do have to talk about the Pope. I might not get into the subject of that the Trinity does not exist, that the word none never appears in the Bible anywhere. No, I'm not going to get into that. Or that rosary beads are really Hindu, they just hung a cross off it. Not going to get into that. That Easter is really the celebration of Ishtar, the god of fertility, and Good Friday to Sunday morning is not 3 days. Not going to get into that. You know, that's all technical stuff. Inconvenient truths. What else are we not going to get into? Oh, that steeples on churches are really phallic symbols from pagan cultures, you know, when they worship penises and stuff like that. And then they came along and said, just put a cross on the tip and it's cool. We're not going to get into that. Who wants to talk about that shit? However, let's talk about the Pope. So the Pope died. Well, who is he, like Pope Pontius Pilate or something like that? What was his name? Something. What, Pope, whatever the whateverness, whatever it was, whatever. I don't keep track of that stuff. Gary, what's going on? What up, Gary? I hope everyone hung on to that friggin' Bitcoin. Hope everyone bought the dip. Did people buy the dip when it went down to 76 and now it's up to 95 again? And it's gonna go to like 200,000? I hope everyone bought that dip and didn't sell off. Oh my God, it's the end of the world. I lost 10%. Hope you didn't do that. Just saying. XRP, who cares about them? Doge, you know, I dumped my Doge a long time ago. I dumped my Doge at 40. I know, don't hate me because I called it. Oh, St. Francis of Assisi. They used to call someone used to call me St. Francis of Assisi when I was a kid, because all the animals would come and, like, if there was like a growling dog that looked like if a giant grizzly bear came running out of the woods, like full charge, I could just stand there and be like, bro, what up? To this day, I'd be like, what up, bro? And he'd be like rolling on his belly, and I'd be rubbing his belly and shit. Ferocious tigers, that's me. You know, birds land on me. You know, it's just, I have a thing with animals, you know? Like a St. Francis level thing, for whatever that means. I don't know. I don't believe in saints neither. Oh, did I say that? Yeah, because everyone's dead. I hate to tell everyone, but everyone's dead. Everyone's dead, waiting for the return so they can wake the F back up again. You know? Oh man, am I going there? I guess I don't care. Yeah, so there's no such thing as saints. You know, even though Catholicism, okay, let's get something straight. I was raised Catholic. And I got a bone to pick with Catholicism, because they had, and some judgmental MFers. Anyway, wrote their own Bible, you know, because the real Bible doesn't, like, support most of the Catholicism stuff out there. The same way, like, okay, yeah, PLTR is back up to 110 today. But would we talk about it when it was 20? 500X, everyone. I was getting a little nervous when it was like at 85, and we spoke on that. I was like, you know, I considered it because that's tying in a 4X profit at 88, but F it, you know, and it's back up. It was a dip. That was a good buying opportunity for a lot of things. Not all things, but a lot of things. However, we're talking about the Pope. Let's see. So I was raised Roman Catholic. I got, like, I was baptized, and I was all the stuff. What was it? I did all the Catholic aerobics. Bend, bow, kneel. I did all the stuff. I did the confirmation, the whole thing. Did all that. Have a confirmation name, yada, yada, yada. The whole shit. However, none of what, wow. I'm going there. I don't care. Got in on PLTR on your mention of it. You are welcome, Gary. That score, right? It could be PLTR if people actually figure out what they do, because people like scratching their heads. PLTR, what the actual F do they do? Why is their stock like going freaking crazy? Why are they at a 500x? You know, when they only have them. People haven't figured them out yet, but it's an AI play, but behind the scenes, and they work for the government, and they're being utilized now. Not so much in Biden's government, because he was trying to dismantle the military, but in the current administration, it's a play. It's a play. They could be the next NVIDIA. Anyway, saints and members of the church, yeah, they're just freaking dudes. You know, they're just people. You know, am I a saint? No, I ain't a saint. Is there such a thing? Okay. Out of the same breath, it's like don't worship men. Don't worship false idols. I mean, if you believe in, you know, in the 10 Commandments and all that, cool. But then they go ahead and, like, you know, carve out a freaking saint this and saint that and tell you to freaking pray to it. The math doesn't math, so there is no such thing as saints. Let's see what the audience has to say before I get any deeper. Anyway, yeah, like Mary, right? If an alligator crawled out of the lake over by you, you'd be just like, what's up, right? Don't you have that? Some people have that certain thing. I mean, you know, I'd probably try to feed it or something. If it tried to eat someone's chihuahua, I'd be like, stop, no, and it would stop, and it'd be like, all right, man. We cool. Just give me some of that ribeye steak and we're good. You know? Alright, anyway. I keep having to reboot my chat. I don't think my chat is down with what I have to say. You know what? Let me jump on their Wi-Fi. Yeah, I mean, okay, it's contradictory, the whole concept of saints. Did you ever, what's the saint? St. Christopher? You got a St. Christopher and he's supposed to help you find shit. Do you ever find shit? No. You slap a frickin' Apple iTag on it. Whatever, you're gonna find it. St. Christopher ain't doing nothing. Because he's sleeping. St. Christopher's sleeping. He's waiting for the return too. Anyway, don't want to go there. But I just did. Alright, so let's talk about the Pope. So Pope, what's his name? Pope Francis. So he died. We all knew he was gonna die. And no matter how much smoke they blow up the ass and out the chimney, we all knew he was gonna die. You know, when you're 88 and you got pneumonia, you know, oh, God called him home. Stop accepting that statement. God called him home. God don't kill no one. God don't kill his people, you know? So God ain't taking anyone home. You know, death is the devil's work. Has nothing to do with God. So when someone dies, it's coming from a different source. Let's just square that up right now. Alright, that being said, oh, it's his time, God took him home. That shit we tell ourselves to make ourselves feel better and not as lonely and all the other shit. Because, you know, having someone who's close to you die, what am I? What is this? Alright, let me address Tiffany. Tiffany is hiding behind her keyboard saying, this guy is the most uninteresting man on YouTube. I am shocked that this channel, oh, I wanted to read that. That's awesome. I wanted to give Tiffany her 5 minutes of fame. It's the only time in this woman's life, Tiffany's probably a dude, a big fat dude, stinky, smelly feet, calluses, but Tiffany, it's probably the only time in Tiffany's life that she ever is getting any attention. So I have to acknowledge Tiffany. You know, she wants to get this off her chest, so let me give you your 15 minutes of fame, because it's your only opportunity. Because outside of this, nobody cares about you. So I'm going to show you that I care about you and read this. This guy is the most uninteresting guy on YouTube. I'm shocked that this channel failed. Matter of opinion. I wonder if he succeeded at anything in life. I wonder sometimes too. I'm just like, when I look around at my friends and my family and my beautiful home and my bank account, Sometimes I wonder that too. But see, I don't measure success in those terms. Even though I'm surrounded in the creature comforts of life and all the rest of that, you know, make a significant income, all those good things, I don't measure success like that. I measure success by the people who care for me. And I know you're projecting because you know that nobody cares about you. So I care about you. That's why I'm going to read the rest of your comment. Let's see. A failed photographer that's so delusional. Yeah, interesting. That's interesting. You know, if that's a position you want to take. But like I said, I love you. Regardless, I feel you need love. I feel that you feel that nobody cares about you. That's why you have so much venom in your life. But I'm here to tell you that I care, and I hope you get the help that you need. I gave you the attention that you're craving. Now I hope you get the help that you need. All right. Do I use LifeLock or something similar? Yeah. Yeah, he was just old. Yeah, you're right, Gary. He was just old and nobody. Yeah, you know, it's inevitable. I actually like it. I don't use it for a watch or for stylistic purposes. I mean, my Apple Watch. We're gonna talk about the Pope. Don't worry, I haven't gotten off that track. Oh, life after death. Oh, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be good. This is good. We're going there. I have very specific things set up on my watch. I do use it to take my pulse and my blood oxygen. My resting pulse today was about 70. My walking pulse on the way over here was about 114. It tends to elevate the hotter it gets. My span at sleeping is 58. Was today, it was like 53 and da-da-da-da. You know, I like to keep track of that. My blood oxygen ranges anywhere from 75, I'd be dead, 95 to 98, you know, depending on time of day, you know, circadian rhythms, all that other bullshit. I have another button there that gives me the temperature. I have another button there for my alarm. I have another button there to figure out where my vehicle is. Like, it's cool. You know, you just like bonk, you hit it when you leave your vehicle, and then you can go find it, like waypoints your vehicle. But that's all. And then I use it for communication. You know, like it's tethered to my iPhone, which I'm biphonal. I have iPhone and Samsung. So that way I don't have to carry the iPhone anywhere, because it also, for $5, I got it in on a deal. For $5 a month, it's got its own cell service, which is freaking awesome. So if I forget the cell phone or lose the cell phone, I can like track down my own cell phone because this has cell phone. I can track down the, you know what I'm saying? You can't do that when it's tethered. It has to have its own thing. So for $5 a month, you know, easy. But I like it. But I hate their bands. So I have a selection of like all sorts of cool bands. Like that's a solid titanium band. I bought this for like $25. It's sick AF. And I got like a one with gold, and you know, I got the colors, and I got tactical. It depends on my mood. But I use it for health and comms. And it's very Dick Tracy. All right. So what else are we talking about? Yeah, I mean, right, Gary? It's like it's a nerdy thing to have. I like it, having all the data. Yeah, I like keeping my data together. I like keeping my. Some people say data, some people say data. I say both. I don't know why, because I don't want to be wrong. In some crowds I say data, and the other crowds I say data. But life after death. Yes, there is life after death. Let's talk about the Pope, too, because he should be concerned whether there's life after death after death. Now, everyone's like mourning the Pope. I need more coffee. I am like freaking amped. This is the first real coffee I've had in a while. The health monitors are awesome. You got a built-in EKG. Unfortunately, I just saw again. I'm a little distracted by my own thoughts. I saw a video today that's saying that wearing this on your wrist, because it's constantly blasting electromagnetic and shit into your body and radiation, that it's actually jacking you up big time. Cannot confirm or deny. However, when I don't wear it for like an entire day, I think I feel better, but not because I'm being jacked up by electromagnetic energy, but it's more like because I didn't like focus on, oh my God, what's my heartbeat? Like today, all right, there we go. My heart rate was somewhere between, my range was 58 to 123. I'm probably at 123 right now, because I'm freaking amped. Oh, right now, resting heart rate, 72. That's pretty freaking good. That is pretty freaking good for someone who drinks coffee like a freak. My walking beats per minute, a 107, top that. And right now, because I'm amped out of my mind, I'm running at 109. Which is good. Which is good. Alright, what are we talking about? Data. Okay, the Pope. I think the Pope was an asshole. Alright, end the show. I think it was an asshole. Oh my God, how could you say that? He is the incarnation of God on earth. The fuck he is? Who came up with that bullshit? He's the incarnation of representative, the earthly representative of God on earth? What frickin' planet are you living on if you believe that? I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but that's some sacrilegious shit. He's the earthly representative, the embodiment and earthly What? What? What would you be talking about? I'll debate you on that all day. He ain't nothing but a dude in a frickin' fish hat who drinks on out of frickin' gold cups, eats off of gold plates with gold silverware in a frickin' castle. God knows, God's the only one who knows what really goes on at the Vatican. With giant walls around it, telling America that it's ungodly that we put up a wall around our country. You hypocritical dumbass. He's got judgment coming. That's some messed up stuff right there. I didn't like him. I didn't like any of them, but this one in specific. You're at 87, bro? That's cool. See, you know what? It goes, like, people get nervous, but it goes up over the course of the day as you ramp into life, and then it starts coming down. Everyone, like, my beats per minute peak at around 8 o'clock at night. 8, 9 o'clock at night, it starts coming down the other side and going lower and lower and lower. It's cool. Oh, and then I got a dB meter, because I always want to know what the dBs are. You know, not dB Cooper, you know, decibels. I always like to know. I mean, it's just fun. It's just fun stuff. He's just a guy. Look, okay, do explain. Gary, expound upon that. I will get into it. I don't care. The Pope is the head of the Catholic Church. That's it. Yeah, that's all he is. He's just like the leader of something. But he's said some pretty harsh things about the way we're running this country, and he does the same. Like walls are ungodly. Then take yours down, bro. Lead by example. Oh no, but we have to protect our gold plates. Where'd you get all that gold? Slaughtering Aztecs? Anyone? Where'd all that gold come from? Extorting your parishioners? Passing around a plate? You want to hear my history? I grew up in the Catholic Church. They passed that frickin' plate around like you were going to go to hell if you didn't put your last frickin' dollar in there, you know? And they enforced that, you know? You got to put money in it. Where's that going? Tell me where it's going. It's going to gold plates at the Vatican. It's going to settle lawsuits, you know, with priests and kids. Where's that going? Well, Catholic Charities helps people. Yeah, they probably do, but not to the tune that they're raking in money tax-free like a freak, you know? The Catholic Church is out there. It's out there. I grew up in it. I remember my mom's, because she was a single mom, oh, the stuff that they did to my mom's. I mean, it probably scarred her for life. She was not allowed to, you know, eat the communion and all that other. And man, when everyone else went up, including us, and, you know, you march in the procession and you do the whole thing, all the Catholic aerobics and all the stuff. And then you come back around, all the frickin' single moms that have to stand up in the back of the church like they were like scarlet letter people. And the whole entire congregation would get to look at who the bad women are, who the floozies are, who the single moms were. F the Catholic Church, you know, that tormented my mother. So, and go eat a bag as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, that was set up. And then I was such a genius when I was a kid. I got a scholarship to a Catholic elementary and a Catholic high school. You people don't know that about me, but I have a Mensa level IQ. Maybe it did, but sometimes I play dumb or whatever, but it's good for, you know, optics. Mensa level. So I got scholarships to 3 Catholic high schools and I think in 2 or 3 regular schools or whatever. Aviation High, all this other stuff. Anyway. So yeah, I was in embed over there and I used to call them out on their shit all the time. I'd be like, excuse me, I'm having a hard time finding the word nun anywhere in this book, the Roman Catholic Bible. And Sister Mary Rose Ellen, she was violent. This little broad was violent. She was an old lady, and well, old lady by then, maybe she was like 40, you know. She was like skinny too. She's probably like a spinner type. But she took a pencil once and threw it at Gilbert Deerhouse, whipped it, and caught him right in the frickin' eyeball. She didn't get in trouble. We were daring each other to take a whiz in the sink when we were in there because we had nothing better to do. And she caught someone whizzing in the sink. And she made us all, because we were standing around and didn't rat them out, she made us kneel on pencils with our hands over our heads. Like if we were in the Nam. If we were in the Nam, this frickin' witch of a nun made us do. I mean, we kneeled, we had to stay, we went up to the library, not the library, the library, and she made us kneel on pencils with our hands above our heads. And then if you were like dicking around in the beginning, she'd make you do it with books. She'd make you do it with books. This woman was nun. She's a nun. She was evil. She was evil. I mean, to torture children? She tortured children. I can confirm. The woman tortured children. She tortured me. That explains a lot. She tortured us. Dalai Lama in the house. We're talking about Catholicism, bro. Yeah, so I've knelt on pencils and whatever. Oh, she used to buy ping pong paddles, or she used to bring them, whatever, and she used to peel the rubber off them and beat the kids. You know, like freaking Pink Floyd and whatnot. Hey, teacher, you know, leave them kids alone. She used to beat the kids. And you know what else she used to do? This is a nun, which doesn't appear in the Bible anywhere. She used to try to get us to beat each other. She would say, as your punishment, you'd have to, if you were like cohorts in some like peeing in the sink activity or some like, you know, doing each other's homework activity that we got caught at, she would say, okay, you two are caught. Now, you have to hit him 8 times, or your act of contrition is beating your friend on the ass with a ping pong paddle like 8 times. And the kids would do it because they were afraid. I was just like, screw you, you crazy witch. I wouldn't do it. I was getting in trouble all the time for not buying into their freaking evil stuff. Because that shit's evil. That's a straight up evil. Getting children to hit each other in school. But that was before, I mean, if there was, cell phones where you could capture that stuff, wow. Half the Catholic Church would be in freaking prison right now, or not. But yeah, straight up freaking evil. And then, they're in the rectory and all that other. And I always thought, like, they're in the rectory. What are they doing? They like lesing out or something. They're doing all sorts of freaky deaky stuff, but they're married to Jesus. Like, none of it made sense. And then I was like, I bet the priests are knocking boots like all freaking night long, having these wild parties, getting drunk on the wine and stuff. I don't know. However, if I was to remarry, the only way I would was like I would catch some chick going in to like turn herself into a Catholic nun school, or on the way out, one or the other, like straight up freaking virgin and shit. Other than that, no, not interested. But yeah, I mean, I had some harsh experiences. I remember another time where the nuns or the priests even, they would take like the erasers. And we were like messing around once, so you know how the eraser has like the different freaking crevices in there, and we'd take some chalk and we'd put it in there. That way when they went to erase something, it would start scribbling. And one of these nuns, I forgot what her name was, but I remember Sister Rose Ellen, because she was devilish. She was a masochist. I mean, she liked to torture people. It's the only way to describe it. She liked to torture people, and she got away with it because she was a nun. This other nun whipped it. She just like went fuck and hit Tommy Cataldo straight upside the head, bonk, with the eraser, and it poof, powdered all over his face and stuff. I mean, they would like deny you food because you were talking. I mean, I remember that shit show of Catholicism. I mean, am I scarred by it? No, because something else you don't know about me. I went to no, I'm not going there. Not going there, not today. However, the Pope, whatever, representative of God on earth, that's some bullshit right there. That's if you believe that, I'm sorry. You gotta really think about that, I mean, that's just some way. I mean, he shits, he pees, he does all the same. He's not God on earth or anything even close. If anything, which God? The one up there or the one down there? Because that one's a God too. You know that, right? He's actually labeled the God of earth. So which one does he worship? With the fish hats? And you ever see inside there? Like, okay, in the church, right? I'm in the church. I'm sitting there. I was indoctrinated into the whole church. So I'm sitting there. They're the most depressing places on earth to sit in a Catholic church. They're like, you're just sitting there like, fuck me. You just feel like some demon is gonna come flying out of somewhere and just start wrecking shit. It's like something out of at least the ones I've been in. Maybe yours are nice and friendly and everything, but the ones I've been in and grew up in, my experience is not everyone's. Of course not. I mean, if you had a great experience and, your people didn't make you kneel on shit and your church doesn't look like something out of a Stephen King movie, cool. But the their Bible, the Catholic Bible, is total bullshit. I don't care what you say, because they wrote their own. They're the Roman Catholic Bible. Who writes their own Bible and then calls it God? Does that make sense to anyone? Fuck no. Compare that to the closest translation, which is the King James Bible, side by side. And one's like, hey, believe us, because, we wrote our own. If you gotta write your own Bible to make people believe in your shit, it's probably shit. Anyway, I'm not saying there's not good people. I'm not saying that, I'm not condemning the people, but the leadership is freaking twisted. Like I said, churches are, steeples are phallic symbols with a cross on the top, like a friggin' nose ring through a schlong. That's all it is. You got to know that you could just that's common sense. I mean, You can look that up right now. What is a steeple? It's a phallic symbol that dates back to pagan times, and when they were doing conversions, they were like, stick a cross on it, and it's cool, bro. You know? But it's the church. Anyway, going back to my church, I'd sit in that thing. I'd be like, oh, it was cool. Like, if something happened and we had to go to church, you know, because I said I went to Catholic school. Yeah, up until elementary, up until my sophomore year, and then I got kicked out. Go figure. And my punishment was to go to public school, and trust me, that was bad. That's where I learned how to fight and be cool and everything. Anyway, I was terrified. I was terrified in that church. Everything was like, it was straight out of like some dark, I mean, not even Stephen King. Like Stephen King, Tarantino, like, what's the one with the Mobius thing? I forgot. What is that one? Like, right, it's like out of the, it was frightening. It was frightening. Everything was like blood and guts and swords and blood and hearts with thorns and death and murder, and it was just like, whoa, what the actual F? One day, I want to go back to all the places that I seen when I was a kid and go see what's what and whatever, you know? I wonder if that place is still there. Probably is. I'm not gonna name it. I don't want you guys freaking stalking me. Now that you know some crazy Catholic people's gonna jump me. Oh. However, it was frightening shit. I mean, it was straight out of a, like, if you had a fever dream that you were in hell. That's what these churches look like. Every church that I've ever been in is like a fever dream that you were in hell. You know, with like demons flying around and little babies. What's the Catholic fascination with babies? Like babies at the feet and kissing babies and all the babies all over. Someone math that out for me. What's the fascination with the imagery always with grown-ass men and babies? Someone math that out for me. I'll wait. Okay. Yeah, a lot of babies, always babies, babies with wings, babies with bows and arrows, you know. Some freaky deaky shit right there. Anyway, we need more coffee. We need more coffee? We need more coffee. I got more. I'm okay. I'm out. I was hoping. Okay, I'm out. All right. Sorry I couldn't please you with a lighthearted chat about this upcoming week. I don't even know what that means. I don't kowtow to anyone. I don't really give a shit. Looking for a lighthearted. Yeah, if you're coming to me for a lighthearted conversation about next week, you're barking up the wrong tree. I talk about what I want to talk about. If people don't like it, AMF. That's all I gotta say. Sounds like they really try to scare you into conform. Yeah, I mean, 100%. 100%. Gary, you're right. I mean, I'm exposing the experiences I had. But does that make them isolated? Because I'd have to say there was thousands of other people with the same experience as me. So this is industry-wide. This isn't, one little Bror Fredrik's experience with the Catholic Church. I wasn't the only one who kneeled on pencils and got beat by nuns, It certainly wasn't. I watched it happen to many, many other people. It's just a way of life, We went to this one church that was so old school. When I say church, like in the... thank you, Sylvia. Do you know that the word church in Aramaic is inglesia, which means building? That's all it means. Well, the word church just means building. But the other connotation in the concordances of the word church also means gathering of people. How it got conflated into a building with a dick on top and a cross, that's beyond me. Okay, so it's not just my lone experience. Everyone's experienced this thing. There she is. How you doing? Oh, shit. Thank you.
Good, how you doing? You went too early. Just passing through.
Want to say hello to Valerie?
Hi, friends and family. Can't wait to see you guys soon.
Yes, you will.
Missed you guys.
So
excited.
Valmarie's here to get me off my my papal rant.
Uh-oh.
We're talking about the Pope. I don't think it's going over so well, but I had to get it out there.
Well, I tell you, you do you.
I know.
I'm like, when it comes to that.
Yeah.
Born and raised Catholic, but then I'm not
so
really
was
practicing.
Yeah, so was I. I was born and raised too, and
Right. Oh,
I see someone else up there. I think that's a
come
Vaughn up
on
there.
down.
Iglesia is church in Spanish too. All right, we're gonna change the subject and we'll lighten up. Now that Great Dane Mom left. Great Dane Mom was like, I'm out of here. I was like, all right, cool. Yep, that was a Vaughn.
All right.
So, in case everyone did not know, this is
You should know me by now.
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, you don't really see me that often, but not like you
So
see
you
this
came
guy.
in early. I appreciate
I
that.
came in
So what are you
early.
gonna do?
I was
You
just
want
walking around. I was going to get coffee, but I'm kind of wired. I had a little too much.
Wired.
Yeah.
I had like 2 half calves so far today. I find when I get up really early and I go right to the real coffee, I'm like, yeah, it hits me on the empty stomach after sleep a little too hard lately. Only when I get up early. So I've been trying to temper that since the first real one I had.
Yeah. Well, when you get the Americano, it's much better than the normal cup. I'm settling for some freeze-dried 10% Kona coffee. I bought it in the ABC store, and I'm going, what do you have that I can make in my room? Because I'm not going to Starbucks. That's easy.
They have a machine in the room?
No, I
You gotta pick one up.
brought an electric kettle.
Oh, nice.
I like overpacked and I don't care. I'm just like bring everything to kitchen sink almost.
So you got here early. That's awesome.
Yeah. So I got in really early yesterday, and luckily enough that they were able to get me in a room. Didn't have to wait too long. And yeah, it's a long vacation. Planned it for a while.
How long are you here for?
Vacation a year. So 9 days. Fun.
Hey.
What's happening, man?
Vaughn in the house. All right, there's
Vaughn in
Vaughn
here.
too.
Hey, everybody.
All right, ladies always win. I'm sorry.
I know.
She's prettier than you.
She's lucky.
I'm prettier. Well, he's handsome, so there you go.
He is a
Share
handsome
the
devil,
love.
isn't he?
He used
Look at
to
this
be.
guy.
He used to be.
What's up, brother?
Hey.
You get hugs too, brother.
Yeah.
I like that color. That's a great color. I love rust.
I've got like every color they make. A couple of them, I have 2 of them.
Is that like? It's got
Yeah,
like
it's that
vents in
dries
it.
out.
Oh, that's nice.
But here, you can put like the cards here and the money here when you walk around the casino. You don't have to worry about like dropping anything. So that's why I really like
Oh,
these.
smart pockets.
Yeah.
No, mine aren't smart. I'm gonna throw
Check
something
your
in.
pockets.
Yeah, not all going on in these pockets.
I was going to say for a second.
Keep your hands out of my pockets.
Busted.
Busted.
All right, we got to get her attention because I can stand a cup of coffee. I can stand
Why
one
don't you
more.
go up there and ask? Send her this wave.
I try to summon them with my brain.
Is that telepathy?
All right,
Electronic wave.
is everyone happy I'm off the conversation now? Yeah.
Is everybody happier now? No?
Apparently, yes. I had to get that out of my system because he's been he's been very hypocritical as of late.
Well, I can't say that he can say anything anymore.
Yeah, he's not in a
Can't
position to talk anything
Can't
right now.
really.
All right. I'm not going to ask you to get up. No,
I'm getting up.
You get up. All right.
No, thanks very much.
You want anything? Might as well entertain everyone.
I'll think about it.
Yeah, keep it on you.
Hey, everybody.
There you go. Talk about things like Vaughn.
If
is
everybody
available.
that's coming to the big party on Monday is on the way, we're here waiting on you. Come on. What do you think?
That's right. Give a quick backstory.
Just like a juice or something.
Oh, okay. I don't want anything.
Orange is good. Orange. People think I'm crazy. I just don't drink coffee.
Oh, there's nothing crazy about
Yeah.
it. It's not really iced coffee.
I drink one of those little frappuccino bottles every now and then. My parents drank coffee like crazy. I've just never been a coffee drinker. Even
Really?
in the Army when it was freezing outside, just,
I started as I tell the story. I started because when I went to high school, I used to have to be there at 6 a.m.
oh, wow.
They had a split session, 6 to 10:30, and then 11 to 3:30 or something like that, because there's so many kids. So yeah, I used to get up, and we were at the bus stop at 4:45 with
Wow,
all the
that's
truckers
crazy.
and sanitation men. And they were getting that coffee, and it was like, coffee. That was back in the days where I was just pounding sugar into it. I wish this had a wide angle.
I told everybody that was on the way here that we're here waiting on. They need to hurry up and get here.
Oh, what happened?
Telling everybody's coming for the party on Monday.
Yeah,
We're
excited.
We're ready. We're waiting. Come
I'm
on.
excited. I will be there early.
My
It's
buddy
gonna be
Mark is
fun.
flying in tomorrow morning. I got to go over to the airport about 10 o'clock and pick him up.
Dude, I met.
Yeah.
Okay. Good people.
Got to work on a helicopter.
Yeah, good people. Oh, we got all the waters. Let me see if we put it in the corner over there. Let me see. Alright, we gotta get foul. No, you gotta squeeze in.
Thank
We got the
you.
orange juice. Okay.
No rush.
Yeah.
She's been doing that no sugar thing.
That's right, the no sugar thing.
Alright, we'll squeeze it. There we go.
He
Alright.
just wants me to do this.
So I kind of figured that out.
Thank you. I know juice is bad for you. I just don't do coffee.
It is what it is. Just raw,
I figure
straight up
everything's
sugar.
bad for you.
Yeah,
The grand
breathing
scheme of
air.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I mean, I just watched an entire video how burning candles in your house is bad for you because you're breathing in, all the perfumes and the toxins and all the rest of that shit. I'm like, I want to suck all the joy out of my life.
Well, when I was driving over here, I was listening to you about the way this will hit your skin and everything. It'll probably after 20, 30 years do something. I don't know.
What about
We'll
the
find out when we're
nanoplastic?
95.
Yeah.
Might take
Start
10
glowing in
years
the
off our
dark.
lives. So. Yeah, I mean, cell phones, I do believe that, if you're a constant person with them by your head, they say that guys shouldn't be, carrying them in their
Right.
front pockets because it kind of...
I think there was some guy a while, about 10 years ago, his wife died, and he tried to claim that her cell phone that she was talking on, 20 hours a day, had given her some kind of cancer or brain tumor or something.
I've heard about that, brain tumors and
That's hard to
everything.
prove. How would you
Yeah.
prove that? That's another subject. RFK says they're going to remove all the dyes. Good. I'm all for it. Well, it's been tied to cancer. It's linked to this. It's linked to that. We know for a fact it's linked to that. But I'll give them a good year and a half to start phasing it out.
It'll take a while. Well, it's all the manufacturers and food companies. They all have their certain way, and it's going to be expensive to change
Get
their
that, yeah.
formulas.
So, yeah.
Everything will have to change.
I understand that. We're going to have to get used to
Yeah.
food that doesn't have that visual appeal. You know,
Right.
the bright red, the bright blues, all that type of stuff. I get that, and it might affect the economy, but
I'm just
I
surprised.
want stuff to happen fast.
I'm
Right, me
surprised.
too.
It took,
I'm just like, do
I'm
it
surprised
already.
it took so long. You figure in the last 20 years they would have.
I've known about it.
Yeah,
Well,
you
yeah,
know,
the European companies who ban all of that stuff, and they have dyes, but they're natural
right.
from real foods and things that aren't going to kill you. So let's
Right.
go that route. I mean, how come we haven't gone that route already?
They
This
also
should
did
be done.
seed oils. You know, they did the ban on everything except olive oil. Vegetable oil, canola oil. Thank you so much.
And I
they-
guess a little bit of coconut oil still.
Yeah,
they
like-
say it's not the best of the best.
Right.
But
Olive's okay, grape is close, but the true, like, farm lubricant level oils, they banned those already. Like, literally banned
Right.
them, but they have until, I think, 2030 to take it off the shelves. You know, by then, I don't know. I just want to see action already. I want to see people healthy.
well, I'm kind of into the tallow thing, and you know, when you first hear the word, some people might say, "Well, what the heck is tallow? And do I have to go to the store and buy it?" Not necessarily. If you're buying, you know, steak or chuck, it can be cooking a hamburger on your stove. Save the fat drippings.
Yep.
And that's what I have in my fridge. I've got, you know, a layer of fat drippings. And actually, I like my eggs cooked in beef tallow much better than butter.
And
for
it
some
doesn't
reason.
stick
It
either
doesn't
for some
stick.
reason.
And it's healthier because, you know, it's not just the fat that's in it. You get a little bit of the flavor, but you get those vitamins that are necessary.
Yep.
Unless you're supplementing. You're taking a multivitamin every day to supplement that, but why not get it naturally? And to me, it's free. I mean, if you're cooking the red meat anyway, you're not going to the store and buying extra
I
oil.
spent
grease.
years, you know, when I was lifting and all that other stuff, worried about lean. Oh, it's got to be, I trim the fat off everything, like everything, threw it in the garbage. Now I trim the fat. I cut it up in chunks, I season it, I fry it, and I eat it. You know, two different mentalities, and I feel better for it. And I think the more fat that I'm consuming, the more weight I'm losing. It might not be in the best fashion, but it's counterintuitive. Eat fat, lose fat. It doesn't make sense, but it works.
You know, I tell you what, how do you feel when you eat something, in anything, any type of food? That's how I kind of base it on too. How unhealthy I was becoming, not just because of the weight, but certain foods I had food sensitivities. It was creating other problems. And once I figured out, and it took a long time, I'm not going to lie, and advice from several people, and finally got it down to where it works for me. It might not work for everybody else, but there's a lot of things out there, and a lot of foods that are over-processed, full of chemicals that are causing inflammation in people's bodies. And sometimes, I have to say, not every doctor is correct. They're misdiagnosing people, and they might say, well, take this medication. It might solve your problem temporarily, you know, the symptoms anyway, but it's not going to take away what's happening, and it's not reducing the inflammation,
No.
which really has to be done.
They're just placing a Band-Aid on the symptoms at best.
Right.
And what I'm finding is the less variety, even though variety is the spice of life, less variety I have in my diet, like my diet is sort of honed into very specific things, I can tell what something outside of that does to me. Like I could literally feel, like even vitamins and supplements, I get the reaction, I know if it's going to be good for me or bad for me right away, because my body is so used to processing. It's not like everything in the kitchen sink is being thrown at my system like I have been doing for years. Now it's 10, 15 specific things. I introduce something else. If I go out to a restaurant and eat, you know, asparagus or something, my body will be like, no, we're good with that. Just keep that shit out, because your body responds to that quicker than, you know, when you're throwing everything in the kitchen sink at it, you don't know what you're doing. You could be allergic to this, allergic to that. I don't know.
process of elimination.
Yeah.
It might take years, like in my case, to figure out exactly what works too. And I know when I go off, and it's like this, the scariest part of this vacation, because it's so many days that I'm here, I'm not cooking at home. I know exactly what I'm eating when I'm cooking at home. So coming here, I'm a little worried. I have to special order certain things, and I keep that in mind wherever I eat. I might just say, don't put any sauce on it. Well, it comes with sauce. Well, do you put it on afterwards? Because if you don't, just don't put it on. I'll still pay you whatever. You know, like for instance, I went to Siddell's for breakfast.
Holy cow!
Oh my God.
was just thinking that.
Yeah,
they lie. They lie about what's going on in that food. I was just thinking that. Continue.
Yeah, exactly. So I had a pretty bad experience there. And I hate to say it, but I was really loyal to Siddell's, but it was just the last straw today. When I ordered the basic breakfast, and they're like, "Oh, it comes with a bagel." I said, "I know that. Please don't give me any bagels." And they're like, "I'm gonna give you toast." I'm like, "No toast. Can't. Nothing like that." And well, what do you want to substitute? I'm like, "No substitutions. Just don't bring it." And I said, "But." Because I'm eating a lot of meat, then it comes with the eggs, and it automatically comes with the bacon. So I said, and also like a side of chicken sausage. Because I'm going to eat it all that meat. And he's like, "You sure you don't want to substitute the bacon?" I'm like, "No, give me the bacon, give me the sausage, give me the eggs, let's see what you got." So the server comes out with the hash browns, and I don't care about the hash browns. I might pick on them, but I know I kind of picked on those, and I was like, I can't eat these hash browns. And the thing is, they brought me 2 plates of hash browns, because even though I said I don't want substitutions, I don't need it, I want meat and eggs, they gave me literally 2 plates of hash browns.
They're afraid that somebody's going to say, "Oh, you ripped me off," or whatever.
Well, that wasn't going to be it, but
that's what got me.
But I ended up not being able to really eat my breakfast, so the only thing I ate today was 2 eggs, and I had some of the bacon, but I don't care what they say, they pre-cook their meat. I know they do, because that bacon was pre-cooked. I don't know if it was today or yesterday, and it was dry, and it was cold, and it was like falling apart. Their sausage was different. Now, I've had their chicken sausage before, and it tasted fresh, and it was fantastic. They got rid of it, and so now they have something else, and that was just horrible. So I asked for a to-go box. I didn't say anything was bad, because my servers were great. They're all great. Everybody there. And I just asked for a to-go box, and they give you this fancy Bellagio bag, which is what I was looking forward to. Just the bag, put all my stuff in it.
Oh, yeah.
And here's your box to go. And I just put the box aside, and once the server walked away, I just, paid and walked out with the bag and left the food, because I wasn't going to eat it. I wasn't even going to pretend I was going to eat it, but it was just that bad.
But, I left Atlanta early Monday morning driving out here, and I made 4 stops along the way. It's hard driving all the way across the country on I-40 and trying to eat halfway healthy, because it's all McDonald's, Carl's Jr., this and that and the other thing.
So what are you going to say about what did you find out about the hash browns?
No matter what they say, because, okay.
Did you have a reaction?
Yeah. If I have people in town, I'll make exceptions, because I'm not going to be the asshole sitting there with, well, one thing I cannot do is gluten. I could do more carbs than normal, and I can feel that the next day, all the things. But it's not going to put me out. It just throws me out of what I feel the place I want to be with me. Except for gluten. If I get gluten, it's as if I drank NyQuil during the day. That's the feeling I get. It doesn't irritate my bowels. It just puts me to sleep. Like if I took a swig of NyQuil and tried to function. That's what gluten does to me. And Siddell's, I like Siddell's, but it took me just through the process of elimination, eating there 5, 6, 7, 8 times, that no matter what they say, and you ask them, this is gluten-free, that's gluten-free, is that gluten-free, is that gluten-free? Oh, 100%. Might be a little cross-contamination bullshit. Those hash browns are definitely not gluten-free. It took me a while to figure that out. But yeah, they put me into a stupor level. And now that I don't eat the hash browns over there, I just get an omelet with all the meats and whatever.
Right.
The Vegas omelet, I think it is. No problems. But a lot of these restaurants, the people don't know. They think you're a kook if you ask, even though if they play along. Any allergies? They have the towel over the arm. Any allergies at the table? Any food concerns? Yeah, like if you give me gluten, I'm going to be all fucked up.
Right. There's a concern.
Yeah, there's a legitimate concern here, please. Yeah. Thank you very much. And they're like, oh, we wouldn't do that. But I've had that at Prime where they'll say straight up, no, this is totally gluten-free. Even when someone comes out sometimes with gluten-free bread, am I going to take their word for it? Yeah. I mean, you can tell sometimes, but other times, yeah, so eating out is a pain in the ass, and being that person at the table who's being all freaking picayune, I'm that guy, but I don't care, I got to do, eating out's tough when you have dietary concerns.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you ever eat any Mediterranean type food? Because when I eat that, I just feel so good.
Really?
And I'll tell you, my last year in the Army, a long time ago, after I left Fort Bragg, I lived in Greece for a little over a year, 84 and 85. And ever since then, I just love that food. I can't find it all the time. But it's just so light, and it's just my system, a couple hours after I eat, it's just, I can tell a big difference in that and other stuff.
Like mostly what? What is it composed of? I mean, I know the olives and the olive oil and all that stuff, but what is the basis of it?
Just the salads they make, and you get the wraps. Some people call them like pinwheels and stuff, but I get like just the turkey one instead of like the ham and roast beef and all that. And it's just, and the salad that goes along with it.
Those beautiful things with the grape leaves in it and everything.
But it just, like an hour or two later, my system just feels so much better.
I don't think there's any Greek around here. When I was in New York, there was Greek diners and delis all over with feta cheese and
I love feta.
Oregano. Yeah, very close to Italian. I don't know if there's one out here. I think certain foods were genetically, like, I don't do well with vegetables. I mean, it sounds like me and my own brain, but no, too many vegetables. I mean, genetically, if you trace my people back, we didn't have access to vegetables, so it makes sense that we're not predisposed to eating them. Like, I can't eat apples. I'm allergic to bananas. It's the only thing I'm allergic to. Like, truly allergic. I don't consider gluten an allergy, but I'm allergic to bananas. You give me a
EpiPen worthy? Wow.
Like if someone was just pinching my throat level, and it took me a long time. The funny thing was, I ate bananas my whole life. And then one day I woke up.
Apples and bananas.
Yeah, I woke up one day, and I was like, what the hell? One day my body was just like, no more of that.
What happens when you eat an apple? Is more like gastrointestinal problems, maybe bloating, gas, stuff like that?
Yeah, and
is it more like that? There's a lot of people that have that.
Incomplete, should I say it? Incomplete digestion.
There could be it. And it makes you wonder.
They don't process. It comes out, my body's just like, nope.
Right. It makes you wonder if it's a combination of not just the apple, but whatever pesticides and everything that's being sprayed on it, the reactions we're all getting, because we eat apples all the time. Like back in the day in the 70s and that. The fruit, there was always apples. Yeah. Right. Everything. And all of a sudden we can't do that. There's a reason.
Yeah. Well, why did I suddenly become gluten intolerant? I think that's a Monsanto thing. It's not really a gluten thing. They started spraying it heavily a number of years ago, and it just coincided with when my body was just like, no more. But it's what it is. I mean, I hope they do clean up the food system in this country and whatnot, but it remains to be seen.
But have you seen like they show like all the videos of people in like the 60s and 70s, mostly thin, everybody's healthy and stuff like that, and now you fast forward like 40 years and everybody's a mess. It's just,
they came out with the food pyramid. Eat all the carbs, but don't eat meat. And you got Bill Gates out there telling the world that cow farts are destroying the planet.
It's so ridiculous.
protein is the healthiest thing that you could possibly eat. Protein, animal-based protein.
I'd be happy if I never heard one more word out of Bill Gates for the rest of mine of his life.
Well, hopefully they'll prosecute him one day. When are the damn arrests gonna start? That's what I want to know. But I'm not gonna go there, like I just did with the Catholic Church. Because there should be some arrests over there too.
Don't hold back.
One day we'll talk about Mother Teresa.
Oh, I'm
I've
not
heard some
saying a
stories.
word. You do you.
One
I'll
day we're
just
gonna have a
keep
conversation
quiet.
about her. I mean, Anthony Fauci's mother. Did I say that? I didn't mean to say that. Mother Teresa.
And on that note,
On that note, what are we talking about? Our polluted food system? Right. Anyway.
that's all right. All right, well, I'm gonna take off. I got some hiking
Really?
to do, and I have to find a plate of meat somewhere before I pass out. But it was nice seeing you guys. I'll see you guys soon. You know, a couple days, right?
Lunch on Sunday.
I have no idea what day it is.
We have a lunch on Sunday?
Yeah, over at Sherry Rooftop.
No, that's right, that lunch. It'll be
It's
a lunch.
11:30 on Sunday there at the front of Paris. Up above Alexa.
Oh, I know what that is. I'll do that.
There's a big stairwell over inside.
I know what that is.
Dinner,
Cool.
That's the first thing, 11:30 on Sunday.
All the things.
all of the
All right.
things. All right.
Yes, Janice. I'll be talking to you. I'm not gonna let you off that easy.
Okay.
Oh, those are awesome.
Okay, mine. Peace
Oh,
out.
no, we're not that.
Peace out. See you soon.
Wasn't lifting anything.
All right, thanks, bye.
See you later.
Super chat.
Live super chat activities.
You know, I
Say
still
it.
can't chat.
Really?
I've tried it for over a year now.
That's some bullshit.
Yeah,
I don't
could-
know what that is.
On your old website,
Yeah.
that was easy. But this one, it won't do.
That's just bizarre. You splitting?
Yeah, I'm going to take it.
All right.
I know you got to do your thing.
All right, bro. I ain't gonna stand. I'm gonna stand up for you too.
Appreciate it.
I will see you
See everybody soon. Looking forward to it.
at the bare minimum. I'll see you Sunday.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, wait a minute. That's yours.
Oh shit.
I tried to take your phone.
It's almost the same. Yeah, you got the UAG.
This is like a 23 or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what that one is. This one right here. All right.
All right, see you later.
All right, bro. That was fun. That was fun. I love hanging with the peoples. And it got me off my topic. Maybe I've been waiting to get that out since I was in high school. But it's all out of my system now. Yeah, you know, Anthony's mother was Mother Teresa. What do I think of the Vatican? One day the world will find out what really goes on in there, or not. Maybe we'll have to wait, you know, till the end times. But yeah. What are we talking about? PLTR? PLTR. Organic. Ooh, Angel. I was considering that too. Like, I thought maybe it had something to do with potassium. I mean, when I tell you I'm allergic to bananas, it's just like, it's the only thing I'm allergic to. It feels like someone's gripping my windpipe. It's just like, in my pulse, you can see the veins start coming up and whatnot. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. It's bad, but I was like, F it. Sometimes you gotta, you know, push it. So I took some potassium pill, you know, a supplement. Didn't do anything. Later, bro. And I thought, you know, maybe it was like, someone was like, oh, it's probably a latex thing. So latex on the banana, all the shit. And, you know, I put on, latex doesn't seem to bother me. It's just bananas. But maybe it is organic. But that's a wild feeling. I'd have to do it on a day that I knew I didn't have nothing to do the next day, because it's a messed up feeling. When people say that they have that level of allergies, that's kind of nuts, you know, to feel like you're being gripped by the throat, and not in a good way. If you know what I'm saying? ladies. We were talking about PLTR. I will try some organic bananas. Gary M, what's going on? You don't ever want to be the guy who orders souffle. Yeah, exactly. Bingo. I try not to be that guy. Like, okay, I mean, I am so sensitive that the chocolate mousse cake at Brevette's is so good. It is so good that if it's a Saturday night and I know I don't have to wake up until like 9 or 10, which is sleeping in for me like all day, being that I get up at 5:21, I will tempt it. But I get in there and everyone helps. Like my bro's stabbing it like if it's a freaking beast. Boom, he stabs it. That way, and I'm in there and I'm like, because it's like got the cookie crumb on the bottom, and I'm trying to carve out the piece. But if it gets one freaking iota of cookie crumb on it, I'm sleeping in. Yeah, that's what it does to me. But it is good. Hey, bro, what do you think PLTR is going from here? Interested to hear my opinion. I don't mind giving my opinion. I think, like I was saying earlier, it's a winner. I mean, like I said, I got nervous when I was only at 400x, but it could be the next NVIDIA. That has the legs and the potential to hit $1,000. Not saying it's gonna. I'm no financial freaking wizard or anything, but if people understood what it was, they provide, how would I say, an AI operating system, a military-grade AI operating system that runs AI. I mean, that's as close as I can distill it. Are they profitable? Yes. They're not wildly profitable, but the basis of their business is government contracts. The government, our military needs PLTR to run avionics, autonomous vehicles, which is the future. The future is pilotless, F-35s, pilotless F-22s. That is the future. And PLTR supports that future and makes that future possible. So them being intrinsically tied to the national security of our country via government contract makes them pretty freaking valuable. Makes them extraordinarily valuable. Like, okay, NVIDIA might not be the best example because NVIDIA is tied to a hard product, GPUs and the new, 4080 Ti is out, I'm gonna mine some Bitcoin. I mean, they need GPUs to power AI. So they're on the hardware end of things, but they're doing fluid compute and everything, so that's why NVIDIA is kind of languishing. However, they're building their large LLMs also. I know about this stuff. However, PLTR is strictly a software play. So when they talk about profit, when you talk about profit with a company that's a software play, like the company that I'm with, there's no cost. There's no cost to it. Once I'm not saying I disagree with NVIDIA. Chinese need it. Yeah, the whole world still needs it. I'm not saying, but fluid compute is putting a ding in that karma. If you know about fluid compute, so eventually they'll figure out a way around having the massive GPU farms for AI. It's gonna happen. But, however, it's got legs, but it hasn't moved anywhere. Once the world figured that out, it's been languishing at, before the split, $1,000 plus or minus for, a year. And it's not going anywhere. However, a software play, there's no cost of goods. There's no cog, there's no cost of goods in a software play. So, you write the software, and people use it, and you charge them license fees, and you're friggin' done. You're raking in money after that. The only cost of goods isn't even a cost of goods. It's human capital that it takes to write and maintain and support and all the rest of that shit, and innovate and keep them one step ahead of your competitors. But there's no cost of goods. So when people are looking at them for profit, where their P&L is based on their human capital. they can keep their human capital in check, like most companies should be, and not overpaying and not, getting all freaking egotistical and hiring thousands of people to write one piece of freaking software, that cost of goods is zero. So as long as their need for it, that's just a money-making machine. And being intrinsically tied to the government, and specifically the U.S. government, because I'm sure they're under strict orders to not sell it to all over the frickin' planet, it might as well be, they're a government contractor company. So yeah, PLTR has a very, very bright future. How would they fail? If someone else outdid them, if someone else picked up their contracts, but that shit's not going to happen because there's already instances and implementations throughout our entire military. Throughout our entire military structure is PLTR. So PLTR is a winner. PLTR is going to be big. It's no joke. It's no joke. We got in on it. Like when I say we, I started talking about this back in PLTR back in August, and it wasn't genius on me. Someone turned me on, like, what do you think about it? I didn't know it from a hole in the freaking ground. But I do research. I researched the crap out of it, and I was just like, winner. And that was back when it was $20. $20. It closed at 110 today. Did it close at 110? Let's go look. Let's go to the scoreboard. PLTR. Yeah, holy shit. PLTR closed at 113 today. And it just, back in August, it was $20. $20. And Nvidia has been trading sideways. It's at 111. Johnson & Johnson, solid. Yada, yada, yada. Yeah. XRP's languishing like a freak, and Bitcoin's going to be back to where it was in short order. Bitcoin's going to be over 100,000 very soon, like maybe Monday, because now banks are able to transact in Bitcoin. The ban on transacting in Bitcoin has been lifted, which means you can buy Bitcoin using, how it became problematic, like if you try to use a debit card to buy Bitcoin, like a lot of banks, Bank of America, what's the other one? Wells Fargo. There was one other one that would not let your transaction go through if it had anything to do with crypto. Crypto, Bitcoin, whatever, but Bitcoin. They would block the transaction. Now, all bets are off. Now they've been cleared and freed to allow their customers, without any penalty, the ability to buy Bitcoin from their debit cards and ACH and all the rest of that. Holy shit. So, yeah, that's why you're going to see it jump. That's why it jumped. When that announcement came, that's why it's up. Would I buy any Chinese stocks? I will echo Dalai Lama's statement and say no fucking way, because that's what I think he was thinking. I don't dabble in the foreign stuff. I mean, maybe if you want to say, diverse portfolio, you get into some ETFs that have some foreign exposure, but overall, no, too volatile. And let's not forget that China is not our friend. I do not want to be involved. If you invest in China, you're investing in the Chinese government. For all intents and purposes, you're funding the enemy, so I don't want to go there. I mean, yes, we have to do business with them. Yes, they exposed, like, Louis Vuitton, the $3,000 Louis Vuitton bag is being made for like $8 in China. They slap an LV on it and sell it to you for $4,000. They exposed the whole industry because, it is what it is, but everything's made in China. But all these supposed Chinese companies, they're all owned by their government. So, PRC government is too fickle. Yeah, agreed. Let me see. Aaron, you've had PLTR since sub 20. Yeah, you were on board long before me. I don't remember exactly. It was during a drive-in chat. I don't remember exactly who turned me on and said, you know, what do you think of that PLTR? We're talking about Palantir. All right. If I disappear, I'm in a great mood. I don't plan on doing anything. I'm looking forward to tomorrow, this week, next week, the rest of my life. That being said, don't look too deep. Don't look too deep. Let's change the subject. Scott says, I recently discovered spinach for a potassium source. Without sugar, yeah, I agree. You know what? You know what I'm into too? I can get into kale. Like, it seems so like hippy-tippy, kale and all this other shit. I used to do that. I used to put kale, bananas, and carnivore protein, you know, the desiccated beef, not the whey protein bullshit that don't touch it. Really bad for you. Unless you like being bloated and farting and diarrhea and all that. If that's your thing, yeah, use whey protein. If not, find a desiccated beef-based one. Anyway, yeah, I used to put that in my protein shakes because it's one of the only sources of vitamin K that you will ever get in your diet is from kale. Coincidentally, it's from kale, vitamin K. But yeah, vitamin K is awesome. I feel great. It's one of the few vegetation things, rabbit food things that I eat and I feel actually good after. What do I think of beef isolate? Yeah, I mean, that's what I do. I'm into if I do a protein shake, it's carnivore based. It has to be desiccated. It has to be desiccated meat, 100%. Otherwise, I mean, it's not good. You know what whey protein is? Whey protein, all whey protein is the byproduct, the liquid of making. You watch The Sopranos, right? Was making the mozzarella in the thing, and then it's in the liquid, it's in the white liquid, and then they take the mozzarella and the thing and and it's got all the liquid in there, and then they drain the liquid. That's the whey protein. That liquid that is the byproduct of making cheese. What they do is they dry it out until it's a powder, and they sell it instead of dumping it down the sewer. That's what whey protein is. Eating her curds and whey. You know, what nursery rhyme is that? Little Miss Muffet sat on her tuffet, curds and whey. It's the juice, it's the milk, it's the liquid in the process of making cheese. And, you know, cheese curds and all the rest of that. So they figured out a way, let's not dump it down the toilet. These freaking stupid bodybuilders will buy it from us at a premium. I mean, for an ounce of whey protein, it's like $1 an ounce. That's a good deal rather than flushing it down the freaking sewer. However, it concentrated dairy product, not good for your digestive system. It is not good. I mean, if you went to a real bodybuilding gym, which I used to go to gyms with like pit bulls and everything was rusty and shit, you know, like really getting people wearing combat boots and shorts and making their gains and drinking from hoses and broken glass. I used to go to gyms like that. I would like to open a gym like that. And if you went to the bathroom, it'd be like 10 built freaking ripped monsters just ripping it in the bathroom from that whey protein. It's just like, it just goes through you like a freak. It's not good for you whatsoever. But desiccated beef protein, and the only one that I know of right now that's readily available on the market is made by Muscle Meds, and it's called Carnivore. Carnivore by Muscle Meds is a desiccated beef protein. It's the only one that I use. It's not cheap, and it's the only one that how you doing? It's the only one that doesn't give you the bloat and all that, and it's actual protein that does something with your body. You gotta buy some product, Tom. You gotta buy some products from China. Yeah, I mean, we all have to do business with China. I mean, it's inevitable. and we should be, you know, I don't believe we should have a negative relationship with them, but we cannot, you know, we cannot forget who they are. I got it at 17. Wow, it held since. Yeah, and then we remembered that, yeah, we discussed 17's great. We're talking about PLTR. Oh my God, quantum computing is going to be a dangerous thing. That is my only concern when it comes to crypto and like storing your own Bitcoin. That's why that's like, it was, oh, you know, what's his name? Sailor, that asshole. He's always talking about let the banks, you know, hold your crypto because he wants to be a bank. I don't trust that dude. No, MSTR, don't trust that dude. He's got an agenda. Anyway, yeah, because once quantum computing is gonna hack a lot of passwords. Could it hack a seed phrase? Possibly. And with current technology, a 12-word key phrase for a, you know, a hard wallet or your account, your keys, your crypto. At current technology, at 12 randomly generated words, BIP 39 words, it would take almost 2,000 years to hack 12. Let alone, I use 24. 24, it's infinity. Like till the end of time. You know, I don't think the world's gonna be around by the time that cracks. But with a quantum computing, yeah, that poses a threat to the crypto world. So we shall see. Hickory dickory dock. Are you still using? Yes, I am still using it. I still have a little bit of your how you doing, Carol? Yeah, I still have a little of that monk fruit left. I like that, very specific, because that one has the brown sugar in it, the one that you sent. I like that. I've been eating some of that on cantaloupe. I like that on fruits. I don't, in the coffee, the brown sugar, a little bit. But on cantaloupe, because cantaloupe and watermelon is the only fruit that I eat, mostly watermelon. Because watermelon, fellas, it's really good for third leg activities, if you know what I'm saying. Watermelon. Applause. Watermelon and parsley, very good for third leg activities. But from a glycemic index standpoint, not that I'm worried about blood sugar. I just don't like sugar at all. I just feel better without it. You can get away with eating a vast amount of watermelon, especially if you eat it like within an hour or so of a meal. You're not going to have that like crazy blood spike from it or whatever. But that brown sugar, the monk fruit, the lancoda, I think you call it, it's good. It's good. Let's see. Jack and Jill went up to Hill. Yeah, they did, didn't they? Let me see. Let me check. I haven't looked at fan funding in a while. I don't want to miss anyone. We have Maria with the 20 and Venus and Jim with 10. Thank you for helping with the parking, guys. I do appreciate it. You guys are awesome. So like I said, we shall see. I'm going to try to get some sleep tonight. I say that every single night. I'm like, maybe tonight's the night. But I just don't. I like being awake. I enjoy life. Life is awesome. You know, I want to be up for it. I want to be sleeping through it. However, sometimes it catches up in the body. Plus, I got to rest up for this week because it's Broad Nation 2025, and we got a bunch to do. So, for those of you who are in town, for those of you who are not coming, I hope to see you next year in some form or fashion. And yeah, we're gonna have, it's Monday night, we're gonna eat all the meat. We're eating at a Brazilicutti place, and we're gonna eat all the meat, even 24 karat gold covered meat. That's gonna be good. It's gonna be sparkly. I can't wait. And it's the, how would you say, opening night, main reception. I'm excited. It's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to seeing all you who are coming. Next time, you know, yeah, safe travels to everyone who's coming. But again, if you happen to be in town, like people have been, you see, I'm friendly and welcoming. If you're in town and you know I'm live and happen to be sitting here, you know, I can't stop what I'm doing, you know what I'm saying? But I don't mind people coming and, you know, saying hello and sitting down and chatting a bit. That's always fun. You know, I'm always open to that because it's awesome. I might interview you, but I might ask you some tough questions, maybe some personal questions, but other than that, I'm cool. Alright, people. I'm gonna start getting... I'm actually running a little late. I had to be somewhere at 6. So, yes, I will see you Monday. And I do, hard to sleep when you're... Yeah, it's hard to sleep when you're in Vegas. I mean, Vegas... The best way to describe Vegas, not everyone's cut out for Vegas, but the best way to describe it, it's a combination of Monday morning and Saturday night at the same time, especially when you have friends that come to town. You know, it's just like that. It's Saturday night and Monday morning all wrapped into one. You know, you're getting up early, you're staying out late, you still got to work, but you still want to, you know, chill and do all this stuff. Bro, you're a good, genuine man, and I've watched your videos from the vid times. Northern Ireland, shout out Northern Ireland, I visited the times. Thank you, Aaron, I appreciate that. And, you know, hold it down over there. I heard that, you know, that Ireland is getting a little wacky out there, but the whole world's getting wacky. It's not isolated to up there, but I suggest everyone be careful. Be safe. You know, I'm not one of those be safe type of guys. I'm not, you know, Nostradamus, but yeah, just, you know, keep your head on a swivel. Surround yourself with good people. Be aware of your surroundings and love life. You know, you get one shot at it. Don't fuck it up. You know, I mean, the afterlife is going to be even more friggin' awesome, whether you believe in heaven, whether you believe in Valhalla, whichever. I believe in both. I think it's a combination of both. But one day prompt me again to tell you my theory of what heaven is, and I might make your head explode. But I think I'm pretty pragmatic and logical about it. It's not what people think. It's not harps and frickin' feather frickin' wings and all that other shit. It's very... I think people will be interested to hear that. It might give you hope. Anyway, I love you guys. And I'm gonna jet, because I'm running late. I still gotta duke these people for the coffees and whatnot. And I'm bouncing off the walls, and I'm feeling good. And I'm looking forward to seeing you again. And I love you guys. And on that note, Bror Fredrik.